hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Mindful LCA podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about my journey again. I've been going through some shit, and we are very blunt and specifically behind the scenes talk about how the best podcasts are the ones where we talk about our real problems and the real issues and the real things going on with our lives because we like to be open so that you guys can experience real healing as it's happening, real struggle as it's happening in our lives, so it's my turn again as a continuation from last time. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. How are you doing, Norma?
I'm actually pretty well. Today that we're recording, it's my birthday. I turned 36 today. So,
Sheesh.
my birthday, hey, be nice to me. Uh, my birthday it's a very special day to me. I love celebrating it. I love celebrating life. So I know how some people are like, hey, I know how I feel on my birthday, but my birthday for me is very special. So I'm just happy to be alive today. So I'm feeling very, very grateful for life.
Nice, nice.
Yes. How are you?
I'm feeling good this morning. It's a reminder, like I was telling you before we started recording. I feel good because I was getting an exercise in and talking to my wife at the same time. So like that combination is like really good, right? Like getting a little bit of that hit that makes me feel better with exercise, and also sharing and continuing to talk about my struggles with my wife. It's been really helpful. Watch it. I lost you already. The lion sleeps tonight. You back?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What happened? You're really gonna have to go to your office. Let's continue anyway. So there, that was a little bit delayed because Norma was lagging. If she lags one more time, then we're gonna have to postpone it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been feeling right now in the morning. I woke up. I was a little bit stressed out, a little bit anxious. Mind you, I haven't been sleeping well still, so I know that all my shit comes up and it makes everything harder to deal with when I don't have sleep. But yeah, I'm feeling after that exercise and the conversation, I'm feeling a little bit better. So like I said, we're talking about me, and to update you guys on what happened since the last recording on the podcast. I um, I had the conversation of um, well, first of all, a little disclaimer. I know that I'm putting it out there and it's gonna make my family uncomfortable from me sharing my shit and it's calling them out.
Yeah.
And if they listen to it, like I fucking love you guys. I realize again as I'll get into it how much is still about the growth that I have to do within myself, but I still have to be honest about how I felt and how I'm feeling during this time. So it's nothing, like I said, it's about me at the end of the day. Like I realize
Hmm.
after all this struggle, but you know, it's just the yearning for what I'm going to talk about right now. So I did went to talk to my dad, and I was like, "Hey, we're struggling. Um, unless I sell, we sell Celia's 401k, then we're not going to be able to continue this shit past like another probably month, maybe two." But I was like, I don't want to delay the inevitable that I think. Um, so, and ideally, I want to make a move while the girls are in summer vacation. So either I start them fresh at a new school with my in-laws, or I move in here with you, and then nothing has to change, and we could just go from there. Um, and he was like, "Yeah, well, like, um, those were not kind of like our long-term plans with my wife. We wanted to." Ideally, like we bought a small house so that would just be us two and like this, and like we didn't have to we just have different plans for that.
Hmm.
And he then went to giving me short-term solutions of like, hey, we can just there's some work that we have because I used to do construction with him, and I was like, there's some work that we can get here. There's this job, this and that and that. And then he started telling me like I had to make sacrifices and do shit that I didn't want to do or things like that. And I'm just like, well, you already told me, like you insinuated very strongly that it was a no. So then I'm like, literally, this can be my. I told Celia, like, what's crazy? This could be my first like woo woo shit. Like I literally felt the pain in my heart. Like I literally felt something there. Like I'm not shit you not. I felt it and it made me a little bit uncomfortable. Then I started like stretching or whatever. So then I'm getting uncomfortable being there, and I'm like, fuck, like you're doing what I was afraid that you were gonna do, and what, like I told you yesterday in our conversation off the podcast, I was like, I knew that this was gonna happen, and that's why I had been avoiding the
Avoiding.
situation. That's
Mhm.
why I hadn't talked to him in over a week and hadn't showed up because I knew that this was gonna be the fucking reaction. So I'm heartbroken. I'm crying. So I came up with this shit of like, oh, I have a meeting. I have a meeting. I forgot it's Tuesday, right? I have a meeting, so I need to go. And I just grabbed my shit like almost right away and like left. And as I'm leaving, he walks in and he looks concerned or whatever, and he walks into his room. And I just end up saying bye to the other people there. And I'm telling you, I just feel heartbroken. Like I feel that you confirmed this stuff. I feel like it's almost like shocking, and like I start like I start to cry and to feel like that, but at the same time I'm trying to regulate myself,
Mhm.
and I start with this big fucking deep breaths, like big, like fucking fast, but because I was so emotional that I'm like like I'm doing that shit because at the same time like I don't want to. I'm driving or whatever. For whatever reason, I feel like I needed control because I was I no, I know now that I'm thinking about it as I'm telling you. I was afraid of something happening to me physically. Like
Mm.
you're gonna get sick or some shit or whatever. So then that fear kicked in, and I was like, okay, big deep breaths, and I calm myself down, you know. And then I still broke down after a little bit, and I'm crying like not hysterically or like losing my shit, but I'm crying, and my baby's with me, Aliyah, as I pick her up, and she's like, "Oh, it's okay, Daddy. Like, why are you crying? It's okay. It's okay. When mommy gets here, she'll give you a hug. Okay, it's okay. Listen, that." So then I get down, I park, I get down from the truck, and then I remember what you told me of like look for a hug, look for shit, no matter what it is. So then I tell her I'm getting her down from the truck, and the truck is obviously a truck, so it's pretty tall. So I tell her just to stand there and give me a hug. I was like, hey, can you give me a hug? Because you have like the best hugs. Like, I love your little arm hugs and the shit. So then I do that. And then she's still like checking on me and telling me like it's okay, thing like that or whatever. So I leaned on her for that. Um, yeah, then obviously I'm upset. I'm disappointed in the rejection. I'm wondering what's gonna happen now, but in the back of my mind, and I noticed he was concerned walking into the house as I was leaving, so I I talked to you kind of, and then I hung up,
Yeah.
and then I
I
kept
also
it to
want to call you
myself.
out on that shit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so kind of like I was there for a few seconds in the video call with you. Then I just it's hard for me to show like I was. Is my anger I can show it, my frustration I can show it, my shit, but my sadness it just completely goes inwards, like 1,000%. It just goes towards me when I'm feeling sad, and like I've been working on it, but like this time around, part of that pain was realizing how much I go like inwards, right? So then I kind of talked to you. Then I start again pacing around the house, like crying, just literally pacing back and forth. And I'm like, do I call Celia? Do I tell her? I was like, I don't want to bother her because she's also stressed out and she's at work. Like, how much is she gonna be able to do? So then eventually, I'll just wait till like 12. I forget. I think it was like 12:20, and I send her a text, and I was like, when are you taking lunch? And then she's like, are you okay? And I was like, not really. So she's like, I'll take it right now. So then like we started talking about it, and I was like, yeah, this happened, this and that. And after telling her the thing, I was like, but he was visually upset. So I think he's gonna show up to the house either today or tomorrow out the blue because that's kind of like his fucking his behavior. That's how he does that shit. So then I finish the conversation with Celia. I get some pictures done, which I don't even remember how the fuck I got them done. And then he calls me and he's like, "Hey, I want you to come over and talk about it. Me, my wife, and you and Celia." So I go, "Okay, cool," and I instantly feel relief. But then I go over when Celia shows up, which is like 3 hours later, 3.5 hours later, and they offer me to, yeah, like you can come here. I just want you to like be okay with the rules, and like we like our house to be clean, and like I know there's girls and shit like that. Um, what else did he say? Like the communication, the shit, and everything, and we even thought of a way to help you guys out that hopefully like it makes sense to you guys, and instead of you paying rent and giving it to us, we'll charge you this amount, and then we'll save it for you, so that way within a year you guys can like buy like a mobile home or do something with the shit, like do something with that money. And I lost it. I wasn't able to see the opportunity that that is, which still an opportunity. I think we just have to heal this part of it, not to jump ahead of the thing, but like somehow that, like I wasn't able to process that, and I was pissed off, and I go back to him and tell him like, but like why, like why is that the reason why? Like you are struggling. You said you want somebody to move in eventually to your house, to the ADU unit, so that you can get help paying the mortgage, because you yourself are saying you're in a tight space. So then that turned into like, why are you saying this, or like why are you putting a limit, why are the thing? And then I'm struggling, and we're going back and forth, and then he's like, yeah, but like you guys got to change something, you got to do something about this, and you have to look at yourself and figure out what you're doing wrong to get you to the shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, like you're not. Then I go into that idea of like, here is economy fucking 101, and here's the status of the fucking world. And I was like, it's not because we're not fucking trying, it's not because we're not doing our best in the thing, and we're trying to grow the business and doing this shit, and we're putting in the work. You just assuming that I have to work harder, and you're dismissing that. Yeah, but like you can't do shit about the world, you can't do shit about things, you just have to figure out. And as long as you figure it out, like I don't want to hurt you by like I don't want, like I'll be hurting you guys if I don't put like an end limit to the help. Like I'll be making a disservice to whatever the fuck that is to you. He literally did say that. So then I get frustrated. Like I said, we're going back and forth, and then I get so frustrated that I'm happy that like my awareness kicks in, whether it's a little bit too late at that point, that I'm like, I go within a little bit. And then I'm like, babe, I tell Celia, because Celia was there. I was like, hey, help me out. Like, what the fuck am I not getting? What am I doing? And then I start sitting within. And then it was his wife that's like, oh, you guys are arguing about two different things here. And then I was like, am I? Oh, shit, yeah. And I was like, oh. And then I literally then follow in detail what I want. I was like, I just want you to love me and say, ideally, this is what I want to hear out of you. Don't worry about it, mijo. I got you no matter what. Let's figure this out. We'll fucking work at it. Go ahead and come here. Don't worry about this shit. I got you.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wanted to hear. Ask him directly. This is the disconnect. I understand now that I'm arguing two different things. And now because, and I explain, I just realized this wound is very big, and it just became alive and it's fresh in myself because of the conversation of the other podcast of the previous episode. So like I show up asking for that because it's right there and it's very raw in the shit, and I just can't make them understand the importance of that. I can't make him understand that we go back and forth and he's blaming me, and he's holding his words to say, you are not doing enough. You are just being lazy. You have to look at yourself and what you're doing. And I'm like, yes, but you're not understanding the whole world. You're not understanding how the system works. You don't understand that part. Like, you don't understand how fucking stressed we are and we were when we were making a little bit more money with her job, with Celia's job, with the photography, with the carnitas. There was no nothing. And at the end of the day, I also explained to him, and I didn't have the courage to say, because of me showing up to help you in the construction, because of me showing up to help you in the carnitas, which both of those things you never asked me, you just kind of signed me up for, I lost in the photography part.
Hmm.
And because also what I chose again, I was, there's not 100% his fault. And like, I also lost hope in the pictures because it wasn't working. And it's just my unhealed self and my own traumas from the past that carried into the photography, right? So it's not 100% his fault.
Hmm.
But when I started sharing the struggles with him, and well, you're not accepting me, you're not loving me, and this and that, then we went into like, well, like just struggling back and forth between him blaming me and me wanting to just get love unconditionally.
Hmm.
That was literally what the struggle was at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
him just saying, but you, but you, but you. And then I kept saying, but what is the burden that my family is bringing and living with you when this is what the fuck you want? You want somebody to live here. Why not me? I don't understand how this two things don't add up. You want somebody to live here. You want somebody to help you, but somehow it can't be me because you think it's wrong for some reason. Like, why is it? I don't understand. And I kept telling him, I don't understand what the big burden or what is the big deal about it being me and my family that do that versus somebody else. So then we keep going back and forth for a while, not understanding each other. We went to like we talked about a deep shit like bro, you can't even give me like physical affection. Like me and you don't even fucking touch each other. We don't hug. Like I've left sad that I'm not able to hug you, you know? Like I left sad that I'm not able to share those things with you. And then he started sharing his pain and the shit. So eventually I was telling him what I needed and he wasn't able to give it to me. So then he tells me like, well, you don't hug me either. And I'm like, the fuck? I get up and I stand in front of him and I'm like, I walk towards him and I'm like, get up. And he was hesitant. I'm like, get up. I'll fucking give you a hug. Get up. And then we hugged and shit like that. And it was like great at the beginning, right? To feel it. But then he starts hitting me again with the jabs. He starts talking and shit like that. And I'm like, dude, I don't need this right now. Just shut up and hug me. Like, I don't need it. I didn't tell him, but I'm just feeling it and feeling it and feeling it. And I'm still very emotional. And I turned away from everybody after we let go of the hug, which I don't know how long it lasted, but it was a long fucking hug. And then he just continues again. Like he just goes back to the same shit. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, why are you still continuing to hit at this? Why don't you understand? And then I start getting hurt and I start explaining to him with more detail. You can't hug me because your dad didn't hug you and you don't see the value in that shit. And you can't see how important that is. And you can't see that. Then I go into explaining again, you are so used to overworking and being run down and work so fucking hard that it bothers you that I want to have a normal life. That you expect that from me. You're literally passing on to me and you're shaming me like your father and your uncle shamed you. You're literally pushing that against to me that there's something wrong with me. So you want me in that thing is like you want me to be like you. You want me to end up like you.
Yeah.
Like you don't see what you're doing there. The conversation, I'm missing a lot of details because the conversation lasted like 3.5 hours, and it ended up with him like I'm hesitant to say this part, but I still will because it has so much to do with the whole point of the story. He said at the end of the day, and I don't blame him from saying this as I'm thinking about it. He was upset and he's entitled to feel his own feelings, obviously, but he just goes at the end of the day like, I feel you just show up like you. I feel like you just look for me when you need me, and like I lost my shit. Like I literally lost my shit, and I was like, and I lost it in the proper way. I didn't fucking go off on him. I didn't get loud or anything. I was just like, that's completely fucked up. That's completely wrong for you to say. I'm going to walk away from these conversations because now you're hurting me and you're saying shit that doesn't make any sense just because you're hurt, and that's not okay for you to be insulting me in that way. And then he goes, how are you? And I go, how are you going to say that? I live in this fucking neighborhood and I've thought about leaving to find a solution for my struggles. But then you come into mind and I want to be with you. I haven't moved back partly to the Bay Area because my wife also has her parents here and she's hesitant to do so. But I've also thought, who the fuck are you going to have when I leave? And you talked about how much you love having us again, and I'm getting fucking frustrated. You talk about how much you love having us in your fucking life. And then I think, what are you gonna feel when you had all three of us living in your own neighborhood? To all of us are fucking gone, and now you're by yourself.
Hmm.
Like I think about that stuff, and I mentioned that shit. So then he's like, well, he said, well, yeah, it's not only you, it's everybody. And I once again I lose my shit, and I think when I'm completely super upset, instead of getting louder, I whisper. Like I'm so fucking pissed off that like I goes over the edge and I come back down to the very bottom. So then I'm so upset and he's sitting down and I'm like fucking losing my shit. And then when he says it's not just you, it's all of them, I get quiet and I go real fucking low and like squat next to him. I say, because that's your fucking job, stupid. I was like, ese es tu trabajo, pendejo. Like to show up and be there for us. That's literally your job. That's the last thing I said to him. And then I'm like fucking crying and I walk away in the shit. And that was where we're at now with the whole situation with that and how that turned out. Now, I want to read to you the next, what I wrote myself to myself the next day, that helped me understand, together with another conversation I had with one other of my close friends before the conversation with my dad, of how much work I need to do for myself, but it'll share my experience and my struggle with, I think it helped me clearly see it for myself, but it also is a way I think that the world and my family and whoever wants to read this can get a clear understanding of who I am and what my struggle is, right? So this came out of idea of like Celia's at work or whatever, and for some reason it popped into my head, just write it down, like write shit down. And then I finished my exercise in the morning, and then I just started writing it. And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm writing. I don't know what the purpose of this shit, but I'm just writing. And I went along with it. So then afterwards, I thought it was so powerful as a way for me to share what I'm going through, but also for people to gain understanding, and maybe it helps them with their own process and their own limits and their own traumas and their own shit that they got to deal with. I titled it, for some reason at the end of it, I titled it Alone, right? Like I just
Mm.
put the title. It was, I wrote it in notes and I wrote it and I said alone.
Okay.
So it goes, I feel alone. I feel misunderstood. I question the journey that I am on and what's the point of healing, because the more that I heal, the more misunderstanding between me and the people that I love. I need to be taken care of. I need to be loved. No one understands that. Everyone judges me. No one takes time to be curious about getting to know me.
Mm.
I feel like an outcast. It hurts. I feel like I have so much work to do. I need to stop healing them and start healing me. I'm scared. I don't want to be different.
Mm.
If this is the cost, I want to fit in. I'm too fucking smart for myself and everyone around me. People value shit that I don't People value shit that I don't care about, and then I get judged for being different, or yearning love, for yearning peace, for yearning unity. It's so bizarre how disconnected and cold people are. I literally feel like an outcast, like I don't belong, like an alien. I have to work on myself. It's not my job to fix people, but they fucking left little Steve alone, and little Steve found information as a way to cope.
Mm.
And then they made little Steve be the referee, the one responsible for keeping the peace, the one who had to find solutions for everyone and everything. They leaned on me so much, and then they wonder why I am the way I am today.
Mm.
I'm sorry, little Steve. You didn't deserve that. You
Mm.
needed love and compassion and understanding,
Mm.
and no one was there for you. But we have to let go of that pain. It's not your shit. I lost myself. Pain. It's not your job to fix people as much as you believe that's your place in life. You have to let go, bro. Your job is to be at peace with yourself. I'm sorry for putting you through this. I'm sorry for all the rejection you got. I'm sorry for all the distance this trauma has cost you. I love you. I'm here for you. We'll be okay. I know your family, your parents can't show up for you, but I will.
Mm.
Count on me for your pain. Count on me for your struggles. We'll walk this road together. You will always have each other no matter what. I got your back forever. Count on me to show up for you and love you. So together we can walk the path and heal the wound. Together we'll find peace.
Mm. Mm. Just sit with that for
So
a
I
bit.
just
Even right now, that is whatever emotion is showing up. Even before we talk about it, just sit with that. Mm.
that's the when I'm hugging him, I want to tell him how hard my life has been and how much I need him and I needed him to be there. That's what comes to me as I'm hugging him.
You're
And mind
talking
you,
about
like
your
I said,
dad. You're
yeah,
talking about your
yeah,
dad.
when I'm hugging, yeah, I'm talking about my dad. Like we just hug each other like on Christmas and I don't know, birthdays and shit like that
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Um, so that's what's coming up for me. Like there's still there's still the anger of like fuck you, man. Like you would have made my life so much easier. Like you fucking left me alone. Like you weren't there for me, and that shit
Yeah.
hurt so much.
Yeah.
And that shit is so painful that I didn't have you to count. Like I couldn't count on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it goes back to the point that this is the healing part of it, because if I don't heal enough to know this, I wouldn't be yearning for this and I wouldn't be blaming you. And I would just be looking at myself. So this is the part again where there's that struggle of like, what the fuck am I doing? You know?
Yeah.
But I know that it's not I know that it's not his fault. I know that he comes with his own limitations and he might have had it worse than me in the relationship he had with his dad. But like I explained it to them, like intention doesn't change the fact that like you weren't there.
The impact.
I
Yeah.
even like I said some hurtful shit. I don't want to like dismiss that. I told them, what, you want me to make a sacrifice? Because my brother offered me a job that pays $30 an hour plus tips in the Bay Area. So I'm like, that's a good fucking paying job. So then I'm like, you want me to do the same thing you did and leave us when we were kids? And yes, you provided for us, but then you fucking, where were you when I needed you? No, you were not there. Like I'm telling them this as I'm fucking pissed off. Like I don't want to sacrifice that part for the other fucking part.
Yeah.
Like that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, the part of finally facing again, because I am running into this problem of like people turning off and feeling rejection and feeling like I'm more and more alone the more and more I trying to help. It's been like a journey that we've always talked about from the beginning, right? Like from the beginning of the fucking podcast, like we're talking about, this has been my
Yeah.
journey of shit. And like it's just crazy to me, like the more and more pain that I feel, the more I'm like, fuck, like it is me and I still have to continue to work at this and I have to make sense of it. But the part that I want to explain myself, and I actually went into detail with this conversation with my dad, it was like, it's like I crashed in the freeway and I fucking nearly fucking died. And I look back and I figure out what was all the things that I was doing wrong and all the things that I needed to address so that I wouldn't crash again. And instead of taking the information with me and keeping it to myself, when I was learning how to take care of myself, I decided that I was going to turn around and walk the path, walk back on the freeway and have stoplights and warning signs and say, hey, danger ahead, danger ahead, danger ahead. But somehow I don't understand and I need to put myself in the perspective that you haven't made the turn that leads into the crashing. People haven't made that turn, so they just see me and they're like, they see, like it's like they see a beautiful road with like trees or whatever is beautiful to people, and they don't know that after they made that turn it literally turns into crap and shit, and like eventually it's gonna be slippery and rainy and foggy and you're gonna fucking crash. And I'm trying to help you. So the part that I don't understand and that pisses me off that people don't understand about me, yes, my approach is wrong, my this is that, but if you knew how much love and intention this has to care for you, you will be a little more judgmental. You would be a little bit more hesitant to do the things that you do if you know that I fucking care for people so much that I want to protect them from making the mistake that I did. That led into the conversation of like, well, people don't fucking, like, you're wasting your time because people don't fucking learn until they fucking hit rock bottom or until they hit the shit. And it's because you crashed that you're able to then be careful and go to the shit. I was like, yes, to a degree. And I think it's also a skill to learn from people and what they're telling you. And it's a skill that you can learn. If you start paying
Mm-hmm.
attention to what people are saying, you can learn from them because I am that way. And then I go, because I don't know if we talked about it here. My dad had a heart attack 2 months ago, I want to say.
I
I
don't think
told them
we.
I saw I saw that coming. I warned you. I fucking sat here in the meetings of the fucking business that we had going between you and my brothers, and I stood at the rooftops and I said, "You shouldn't be doing this. There's no point for this. There's no point for that." And then Steve was lazy. Steve didn't have a vision. Steve didn't have a business mentality to grow the shit. And now, has anybody told me fucking, not that I need to hear from my ego, but has any fucking everybody acknowledged that I was fucking right about not pushing that shit? Nobody has fucking said that. And I'm like, I didn't have a fucking heart attack. I don't have a work or die mentality like you do. And I was able to foresee that. So I learned that from reading, from fucking listening to people, from seeing what fucking happens. I
Mhm.
didn't have to experience it to be able to see it in you. So then I like literally told them that's a fucking skill that you can develop. That's a skill that you can do. And I even told them that's something that I teach my daughters. I'm teaching them saying you can listen to me or you can go experience it. And when they experience it, I'm there for them. And then I tell them, remember, I try to tell you, this is why you should be a little bit more fucking open minded and listen to what I'm telling you for the thing so that they can learn that eventually they need to fucking do that. And it goes back again to the fucking ego and not wanting to be wrong and shit like that and have somebody else tell you that shit like the video you sent me last time, right? Like it takes a lot of work for you to be open minded and for you to see someone challenging you as a way of helping you and not a challenge you and then you defend yourself and you make yourself little so big to defend yourself, you know? Like it takes a certain level of fucking human to understand that shit.
Yeah.
But that's the shit. But like going back again to what I need to do is I need to continue to heal that need to heal and understand that my value in life and in society has nothing to do with how many people I heal, even though that's what I was taught at the beginning. I need to undo that part of it, right? So I need to continue that. I need to be able to learn to accept myself more in order to accept other people. I need to dig into that trauma. I need to pay attention to that, and I need to be more aware. I'm aware of it. I've been doing it, but now I know because of more pain what I need to do, right? And why I need to do that. And it just led again to understanding myself a little bit more, which, like I said last time at the end of the other episode, like it fucking sucks when you're going through something, especially something that is scary, something that is hard, something that is painful as fuck. And you don't like, you're like, what the fuck is going on? But then when analyzed properly, when thought about, when felt, and allow yourself to feel that shit and doing the proper thing with your pain when it's actually healing it and not just letting the anger or the shit lead the way, and looking at yourself, looking in the mirror, paying attention to yourself is like, yeah, like I should have known that I wasn't gonna, that it's not my job to help him understand me and heal his own fucking past, but also that I wasn't gonna change his life and like be like, oh, he's gonna fully understand me in fucking 2 3 hour conversation and just love me and tell me all the shit and everything. Like now that I look at it, I'm like, you're so fucking silly, motherfucker. Like you're so stupid thinking that that was gonna work and that you're gonna crash in 5 years or 7 years plus a goddamn lifetime of your own journey to fucking make somebody understand and grow and fucking get the job done that you need them to show up for. So like it didn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And once again, I'm gonna grow from that, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
continue to work at that.
Yeah.
And I was already telling Celia, like usually when I would have more anger issues with my daughters, we develop a thing where like she would nudge me or she would give me like a hint that would then let me know, because I'm like, hey, I'm not yelling because I'm a fucking asshole. Like I lose my shit and I'm not aware of what I'm doing. So help me become more aware in this moments, because I don't have the intention to be mean to the girls, but like let me know when I'm going over the top. Like give me some kind of signal, some kind of shit that like brings me back into this conversation that allows me to come down. And I literally told her again, after the conversation with my dad, because I was very calm afterwards. Like I didn't feel anger, resentment, or anything. I was just again analyzing it in that moment and paying attention what I could have done wrong or what I did wrong and the frustrations and shit like that. And then I told her like, because she's like, yeah, but you're still like, she was the one that was like, you're trying to do so much in so little time and
Hmm.
you're getting frustrated. I was like, okay, you know how we did it with the girls? Like, please give me a signal, give me a sign, do something that tells me you're in this fucking path again, that allows me, that helps me build awareness and be able to like calm down.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, throughout the conversation, I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're not getting anywhere. And then he would say some shit that would hurt me. And I'm like, fucking this, but this and that. And then I'm like, again, I literally multiple times that I said, well, I'm done, that I have nothing to tell you. I don't think we're going to be able to understand. And I'm sitting there and then he would reply and I'm like, and say some shit out again and hurt me again. And I'm like, fuck this and that. And it would just went over and over. Where I think is improvement, because before there's no fucking way I even had the mindfulness to even think that I needed to shut up and I would just go all the time. But now
Hmm.
the fact that I'm aware of it, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I have to acknowledge and that is painful. And yes, they are that explains my behavior of who I am and shit. But I can't do anything about their lives and their healing and how they see me and how they treat me. They have to do that shit themselves. What I can do is how much I heal and how much I go inwards, along with having you and friends and my wife and everybody that walk that path with me, that then will allow me to heal to the point. This is my stand on it now, to the point that I have so much peace and understanding within myself and in my community of like the friends that I'm mentioning, where I no longer feel extreme pain and so much frustration to the point that I have to yell.
Mm.
That just tells me how raw this thing is. Um, so that I have to continue to work so that it doesn't affect me to the level that it affects me, and I'm able to have more of the mindset and the vision to catch myself before 3 hours of fucking going back and forth. That I'm not gonna get him to change his mind. That this is his wound versus my wounds, and we ain't getting fucking nowhere and all that shit, you know. So like that's my learning experience, and like as much as I hate it and it's so painful to admit again, it's how much it's me, because I can't do nothing about what they can give me or they can't give me. I have to go back within me. And it was my pain and it was my fault and it was my shit. Like I was telling you yesterday, like I denied, I said no to an opportunity that will help me financially stupidly. Like I said no to that because I'm like, yeah, yes, sure, give me the $24,000, but no, go fuck yourself. Just tell me that you love me unconditionally. Like I don't give a fuck about any of that. Like yes, that like just like I think is so is not silly, right? It's how deep and how important it is to
Right.
me.
Yeah, that's what I was
But
gonna say. I'm like, I don't think it's silly. I think like the principle of where it's coming from, um, like that's what, um, like that's almost like your protest or your rebuttal. Not a rebuttal, but yeah, more of a protest of, um, that's not what it's about. That's not what this is really about. It's about you showing up for me in a way that I need you to. So it's not necessarily, it's not about the financial portion, and that is what we talked about yesterday. Um, it's it's that I want my dad to love me.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, and it honestly is the to add to it on why I think it is so painful and why I'm dealing with that now, because I didn't think that was what I was gonna get from him. Like I did and I didn't. I thought like, well, I've been talking to you, like you have more an understanding of who I am. You have this shit. We've been getting to know each other. We've talked about mental health. We talked about emotions. We talked all the pain with your father. We talked about all this shit. So I'm like, it was like heartbreaking to be like, nope, like you're literally back at the beginning of the shit, and like, you know, like that's where you're at. Because yeah, he just kept saying that it was me, it's me, it's me, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. And I'm like, but you don't understand that the reason why I'm here is because I have worked on myself. And the reason why I'm openly able to tell you that I just need your love is because I have worked on myself. But yeah. And I think, oh, the part that we're missing, right? And we did touch on it a little bit, that I understood afterwards, like the day afterwards, and after talking to you, was like, oh, he showed this pattern with other people in the past. And he really believes that giving you unconditional love hurts you.
Mm.
It stops you from growing. And I think is the complete opposite. Unconditional love frees me and gives me the fucking thing to like potent like grow to my highest potential
Yeah, one hundred
by
percent,
having that unconditional love.
one
Yeah.
hundred percent.
And that's what
Oh shit! Sorry.
I wasn't able to realize. That was why. That's the thing that I don't have to make them understand that that's what it is. But that's why it's important again to be curious about your feelings and the pain. And instead of judging him and seeing he's being a fucking asshole and this and that, no, I put myself on his perspective of what his life is. And then I put together and analyze, like, you behave like this to other people, and then like, what the fuck is going on? And like, we had this conversation in the past, and then I was like, oh shit, I failed to see that. And I don't know if like saying it then would have made a difference at all. But like now I see that that's what it is. Like, you literally think for some reason that getting too much love is damaging. Like, you think that giving somebody too much love affects them in the negative way because it makes them depend on other people and it doesn't allow you to grow. Like, like that's really at the end of the day what's happening. And like yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of his trauma come up as it's happening, but I'm so like triggered by myself that I'm like, ooh, this is what's coming up for you here. Ooh, this is what the fuck's happening here. But like, I would still defend myself and do that stuff that didn't let me analyze it, or because I'm so emotional, it didn't let me think logically. So after all that shit was done, I was like, oh, that's the fucking problem. At the end of the day, that's what you're doing again.
And and I don't think it would have made a difference, honestly, if you even
Yeah.
would have said that, because I think those are very installed beliefs that he has that I don't know that he's necessarily ready to challenge. Um,
Mm.
it's ingrained, and I don't think it's just your deaf thing. I think it's more of a culture thing that
Hmm.
is that is a lot of what happens in Mexican culture. You you have to somehow, some way figure it out. We are very like community based,
Hmm.
and as a man or as a provider, there is this idea that you need to, like you mentioned, work hard to be able to provide. And being a real man is like you figuring it out on your own.
Sacrifice.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And somehow, some way,
Hmm.
if the community comes in and helps you out, then it's like the you didn't work hard enough. The sacrifice
Sorry, give me.
wasn't hard enough.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it doesn't, como que no cuenta.
And I've heard this definitely throughout multiple times in my life, that they believe that, like, oh, your son's not working hard enough, or he doesn't have money or whatever. Oh, it's because you're not pushing him enough to fucking do that. You need to push him away. You need to kick him the fuck out so he gets his shit together.
Hmm.
I'm like, I understand how it could be perceived that way and why, like, on the surface level, that makes sense. But then, like, again, instead, and this is something I've been working on with my clients a couple times, like, be curious about the reason why, instead of just fucking jumping and judging and saying, oh,
Right.
you're fucking lazy. Like, have curiosity enough and lead with that to be like, let me fucking help you figure out what the fuck is going on,
Hmm.
that you are not fulfilling or living up to your potential. And even that's a struggle, right? Because what the fuck does that even mean? What is that even a thing? Like, what is potential, and why the fuck again do we have to live to a standard of productivity and fucking like making it for some reason, like our
Word.
own thing? And that's
Hmm.
that's a great fucking point that I just thought about too. You know what's actually another part of the issue that nobody sees,
But
and I thought about it, because I don't have traditional, and we talked about this, because we don't have a traditional 9 to 5.
hmm.
Because when I focus in my job and I have work to do, I'm able to knock that shit out so quickly and focus and do it and move at a fucking pace where, like, I can knock down all my photography work really quick, because at one time for myself, I am able to grow in a fucking way that nobody grows this way. and I'm able to grow at an exponential fucking growth to have this kind of conversations, to be able to have the luxury and the space to have this conversation allows me to grow stupid fast,
Yeah.
allows me to grow way fast. And I'm like, that's the part again where I'm like, what the fuck? Like nobody's able to see, and not that anybody should be able to see, but that's what the confusion is, that I'm growing in a way that's completely different what fucking most of society is fucking growing, where it's just work, work, work. Oh yeah, I succeeded, I got this fucking thing, like now I have this much money in the fucking bank, now I have this fucking car, now I just have this fucking house, now I have a second house, now I have this and that, and I'm just over here like fucking looking at myself and growing, and like going to your house and sharing love, and you're like, what the fuck is this, you fucking bum, you lazy bitch, you ain't doing nothing with yourself. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I wish that, and that's the thing also that is upsetting, that people don't see the impact that my healing has had in their fucking lives. The space that I'm able to hold for you, the love that I'm able to give you, the fact that you can reach out to me, and you do reach out to me when you're struggling, and that counts for nothing. I'm fucking worthless and I'm a failure as a man because I
No,
don't fucking, I don't have the shit.
no, you're not, and that's where you're gonna have to challenge yourself that way too, right? So two things I want to say in regards to that. It's it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
you. Many people don't have that awareness. I can legit tell you that with my relationship with my dad has gotten so much better because of the work that I've done. Like my dad is
Hmm.
not necessarily different. My dad is still my
Hmm.
dad. My dad functions the way
Hmm.
he functions. However, my relationship with him has gotten so much better to the point where at times he has been able to break down in front of me and like express how he feels. Does he see
Hmm.
that as our relationship being better? Me showing up for him? Probably not. Um, and that has nothing to do with me. Is his inability. I want to give my dad the benefit of the doubt and be like, it is his inability to see that. So it is the
Hmm.
same for your dad, right? Of the work that you've done, I'm sure, like you're mentioning, it has shown up in your relationship and the way that you're showing up for them, or they are reaching out to you, whatever the case may be. And they may not able be able to acknowledge, and that's okay. That is okay.
Yeah.
The other
Hmm.
thing of, yeah, I think we value different things. And that is something that is, even me as a person that is quote unquote aware, I struggled with that. When I was having less clients, there was a part of me that's like, bitch, you're not doing anything. Like, why are you being so lazy? When in
Hmm.
reality, we have the privilege to be able to sit here for an hour. Sometimes we sit here for fucking 3 hours, just fucking chopping it up. Not necessarily just chopping it up, but actually getting into conversations, healing conversations. That in itself, it's a privilege, hon.
Yeah.
People may not see it as such. People may perceive it as you being lazy. And the fact that you do have the time and the space
Hmm.
puts you at such an advantage with your counterparts that are working 9 to 5. So, with that perspective, too, is they don't have the time that you have. So, it's also unfair for us to ask that from them.
Yeah.
To be like, bitch,
Yeah.
why aren't you healing? Why aren't you doing the thing? Why aren't you sitting with your shit? And they're like, bitch, because I gotta be up at fucking 5 in the morning and go to work and come back. And I'm fucking tired by the time that happens. Like, I don't got time to fucking do
Yeah.
your healing bullshit. I just want my dinner, be on a couch so I can do it all over again tomorrow. That's all I want. Don't
Yeah.
bother me with your fucking emotional shit. I'll give you an
It's
example.
hard.
I'll give you an example of, I was actually talking to my sister about this the other day. My sister and I, very different humans. how we function. I externalize, she internalizes. She was close to finals week to get her bachelor's degree. I had already been past that. I was already I had graduated, so I was chilling. Life was good for me. And in a way to make conversation after a run, she was making breakfast. I was just tired that day. So I tend to ask questions in a very deep way, apparently. And I asked her, sister, does your experience ever, oh my God, how did I even ask? Do you ever feel like your existence is heavy? I said something like that. And she's like, what? Like legit, like looked at me and gave me a dirty ass look. And I was like, do you ever feel like your existence is heavy? And she like looks at me and she's like, she's walking down the stairs right now. She's hearing me. She's like, because that's a fucking story that we have. Um, and I'm like, is your existence heavy? And then she's like, I'm just trying to have breakfast. Can I just have breakfast? But she was really mean about it. And I was just like, she's like, I don't know what you're asking. And I'm like, do you ever, yeah, like just sometimes do you ever feel like your existence is heavy? And she's like, right now I'm just trying to make breakfast. Can I just have my breakfast? Like, I don't have time for that. And I was so hurt. I was so hurt. My little heart was like, I'm trying to connect with my sister, I'm trying to have a conversation, and she's being so mean to me, right? So my dad walks down the stairs, and as he's walking, like I am leaving because I am so offended. Because how dare she react to me like that, right? My dad's like, you're not gonna have breakfast, and I was like, no, because Ophelia's being mean to me. Oh, I just outed who it was. um, and she's like, I wasn't being mean to you. I'll just answer your question. And I just need to have breakfast right now. I don't have time for that. And I was like, but you don't have to be a bitch about it. And I was stormed off and like slammed the door, right? And I was crying and in my feels because I'm like, how can she be such an asshole? I'm always so nice to her. And I was just like so hurt. Later, she reaches out to me and she's like, I am in finals week. I have work. I have finals. I have projects. Like I am in the last fucking piece to finishing this degree. I don't have the capacity to sit there and think about how fucking tired I am. I don't have it because if I do that, I'm going to break. And I cannot break right now. Granted, that is something that she needs to work on instead of internalizing it and like reaching out for support, whatever, right? But I had the capacity because I'm chilling. I don't have anything stressing me the fuck out. Like nothing is stressing me. So I can give myself the permission to ask, hey, is your existence over heavy? As for her, she was loaded with shit. She was working full time. She was going to school full time. She was doing group projects. There was a lot going on in her life.
Mhm.
And for me to ask her to sit with that discomfort, because that is one way that she coped, right? Of like she very compartmentalized of like I don't have the time to actually sit and break. So it's the same thing with people that have 9 to 5 where they have all of these things going on, especially if they have children, if they have financial issues, like all of those things, they can't sit with it like you and I can.
Okay. But I'll make the argument that because we start to sit with it is why we're not be able to get overwhelmed and why we're able to have those conversations as they're happening. Like I'm literally recording with you right now as it's happening in my life.
Yes, but it
Because
has
we
to be over
decide even
time.
but it does I don't think it has to be black and white at the same
I
time.
agree
I
with you.
think for 28 years I had the time and I never did this shit. Like I had the fucking time to look at myself to do the shit, but there was nothing there. And it's because I put in the fucking work that then I'm able to then have those conversations. And yes, I'm thinking of other people, specifically, the one that I'm talking about already, that is the reason, right? Like that's why my shit is so bizarre that I come and I'm like, oh, relationships this, parenting this and that, and you and then that person's like, bruh, get the fuck away from me. Like I have so much shit going on and so much shit to worry. But then I'm like, again, my healing shit comes up and like the thing that has came up for you. But if you took care of this, you wouldn't feel overwhelmed by every little fucking thing. If you actually addressed it and pretended, because again, I'll make the argument that the reason why I'm able to answer to your question, is my existence fucking heavy or not, is because I've allowed myself to have those kind of thoughts instead of getting in the fucking hamster wheel and going 1,000 miles an hour for no fucking reason. I've allowed myself to, or I've found a way to give myself this and started. It doesn't have to be a whole fucking hour and get your own business and like me and you have it and then do the thing. It's just very like small steps that you can take where you don't have to give up everything and be like me or you or like fucking have an extreme amount of time. It's just what are you doing with the time that you do have for yourself, where instead
I
of
don't
addressing it,
disagree
you
with
keep
you.
on
I
you
don't
keep on
disagree
dismissing.
with you. I don't disagree with you. I think it also like we have to be mindful of like other people wanting to do it, right?
Yeah,
Like I'll give you an example of
yeah.
my other brother, my one of my brothers. Like I would be like, yo, go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy, and he'll be like, yes, I'm talking about you, um, and he'll be like, nah, I don't know, that's for me, whatever. Like, nah, that's not for me, whatever. Nah, that's not for me, whatever. And he would have the time. He would have the
Mhm,
time, right? Like right now he's going through an injury thing and he's not able to go to work. So he has the time. Motherfucker got time.
mhm,
And I was like, brother, just give it a chance. Give it a chance. Just go to a fucking session. And he's like, nah, nah, nah. Okay, finally went to one session. He's out of one session. And he wants to go back. He wants to want to go back. But he has homework that he hasn't done. Because of what it requires to do that homework, because of what it's going to ask for him. And he knows this. He said it. He's like, I'm avoiding it. I'm avoiding it. Like, I'm glad I had that session with my therapist. I'm glad I had that session with her. It was a lot. It was a lot. He's like, and I know that if I do the homework, I know that that's going to help me. But I know what it requires for me.
yeah. Yep. That's the thing. The I don't know what there's a word for it. I don't know what the word is. Where maybe irony that you avoid your problems to maintain your peace, but you're actually doing the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
By avoiding problems, you're actually bringing more problems to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the crazy shit. And you think
But
you're
here it is,
protecting yourself.
and this is what I'm gonna hit you, motherfucker. This is where I'm gonna hit you. Literally, what the fuck happened on Tuesday? What the fuck happened on Tuesday? You know, as a conscious human
Mhm.
being, that your
Uh-huh.
fucking work right now is to let people
Mhm.
in when you are in pain. What the fuck did you
Mhm.
do when we were on that video call?
All right. I'm gonna answer it honestly to you. I'm not at the part where I feel safe with you yet. I
Fair
feel safe with
enough.
my daughter. I feel safe with my wife. I feel safe with the
Fair
thing.
enough.
Yes, you've done amazing things, but like I'm not there yet. You get me? Like I know that my
That's
shit is
fair.
growing. Like
That's
my thing
fair.
is growing, but it's that and like yeah, I think it's yes, you're right that I should have dealt with it in the moment, but like the fact that I'm still able to do it, even you can say when I'm actually like going through the shit, I'm still not comfortable with you. And it's like working for whatever reason, I don't have that. But then as soon as I'm able to get a little bit out of that shit, then I'm able to process it. And I'm able to then count on you from there to be like, okay, from this point forward, I feel safe with you. And then we go outwards. Like, yes,
Okay.
do I still have to go through the work of like fucking being okay with all this shit? Like, yes. But I'm also, the point is I think that I'm bringing up is that those people, it's either you do it or you don't. I'm doing it in a fucked up way and as a journey as it is, and whatever I find a way, I'm actually doing it. It's not like I avoided you and I haven't talked to you about it. Like we talked afterwards. We just fucking cried on Sunday. Like I'm crying again in the shit right now. Like I'm actually not avoiding the work. I'm still putting through it.
Yeah.
And yes, I avoided you for a fucking day, but I'm not then
Yes,
gonna be
you
mad at
did.
you
Yes, you
for you
did.
telling me. Like I'm not gonna be pissed off that you're like, so how's it going? I'll be like, ah, como chingas. Be like, no, I'm open to it now. you know?
So, are you gonna text me or what? Are you gonna let me in or what, motherfucker? Right? But
But
that's the part, right? Like literally what you're saying. Literally what you're saying. Like I don't feel safe. I
yeah.
don't feel safe.
Hmm.
That's literally what it's about.
Yeah.
My and my brother has literally said that, right? Of if I tap into that, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. That's just gonna be
Hmm.
painful. That's just gonna hurt. He's like, it's that little kid being fearful. And
Yeah.
many people, they don't even have that awareness that is about the safety piece. You're able to pinpoint, like, yeah, the reason I hung up on you is because I don't feel safe with you in that space yet. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that. A lot of people can't even vocalize what you just said.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hard.
But this helps a lot too. It's things to understand that part of it. And that's the thing that I did have a similar approach to it in the last couple of weeks or something. But like yeah, to remember that it's so unbearable for them to deal with their shit and they're coping with it, that to the point that they're afraid of me.
Yeah.
Like to the point that my presence is literally scary because I'm
Yes.
going to push and
Yes.
do some shit to like break
Yes.
that fucking thing. Well,
Yes.
I guess the way here with his healing shit.
Yes.
Mucho chingar a tu madre and keep
Yes.
away from me from because it's so scary.
100%. And I invite you to even ask, like, right? Like, because I want to be a safe person for you. Right. And
Mm.
and if there is something that I have done to make you not feel safe, I would like to know. So
I
how,
think it's just a matter of time.
okay. All right.
Think it's just a matter of continuing to build the relationship. But you're asking also, I want you to understand, you're asking me to put you like first in line when I struggle still with my wife. You
No,
get
no,
me?
no, no, no,
No,
no, no,
no,
no,
and I
no,
don't,
no.
and I don't mean first in line. I meant as like inside. I sometimes express it like in layers of friendships. Like
Yes,
there's the
yes,
super
yes, yes,
close
yes,
ones.
yes, yes, yes,
So
yes,
I mean,
yes.
I don't mean to put you first in line, but to put you so close in the
Yeah, no,
first
no, and I
tier.
don't have
I
to be.
struggle with anybody with that shit.
And I don't have to be, right? And I don't have to be.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
to be. I'm not, like, wherever I am on the layers, like, I'm
yeah,
okay. I'm okay with it.
yeah,
I am okay with it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
letting you know, I guess, like, putting it into perspective, right? Of, like, in terms of, when you say, like, you don't feel safe for me that way. And I'm like, okay, is there anything I did? And you're saying no. So even more to
No,
my point, right? So in
yeah,
theory, there's nothing that Norma has done to make you feel unsafe,
mm,
right? In theory, you know that if you were to allow me in that space, there would be, quote unquote, no danger. Because
hmm,
also, like, I do this for work, I'm a therapist. So in theory, I should be able to hold that, all of that emotion.
yeah,
And still,
yeah,
your body's like, mm, 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 that's scary. Too
mm,
safe, too scary. So can
yeah,
you imagine, right? Because we as people, you and I, we will challenge, like, that meme that we've sent to each other of the we're fucking ayahuasca. We will challenge and put your shit in front of you in a safe way, in a loving way, in a way that's like, come here, baby, I got you. And people are not used to that. And people are like, hell the fuck not. You're gonna make me hurt and you're gonna hold me in it? Are you fucking kidding me? Hell no.
yeah,
And that
yeah.
is that's as soon as people see that, right? The conversation we were having yesterday of the person I was telling you about, when they were expecting me to fight them, they were expecting me to react in a way, and I didn't. And immediately when they saw that I was a safe person, completely backed off. They're like, nope, don't want it. Not ready for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think it hit another like little breakthrough that adds to the shit because that's what's
Okay.
happening then. And the fact that I'm saying like me saying like I'm scary to them made me realize why, even though with the best intentions, with all the work that I put in, with all the love, with all this shit,
Mm-hmm.
instead of instead of being a safe space for them, the fact that I'm so pushy flips the coin like this and pushes the line to the other side where now I'm seen as a fucking threat and a danger because I'm pushing them to do something that they don't want to do, that is too like it's not even they don't want to, it's too scary for them to do. It would
Yeah.
mean for you to get to your shit. And I think I wouldn't like getting pressured if somebody knew, oh my god, it's so much shit. Like
Yeah.
I know your fucking vulnerabilities, and the fact that I know them without you telling me, and then me pressuring you to deal with those vulnerabilities when you're hiding them in the back. Y según tú, you're like living a happy life, but then comes me with the fucking third eye, and I was like,
You're
nah,
like, I
I see
see
this,
you.
this, and this. You're full of shit. No te hagas pendejo.
I
No te hagas
see you
pendejo.
right
Let's get to the.
there. And they're like, what
Yeah,
the
that makes.
fuck? Do you know how long I've
Me
worked to
encanta.
put on this facade? And you're fucking seeing
Yeah.
through it? It's like, here's my facade, and you're like, no, bitch, I see you. I see you. And they're like, no, I've worked too hard for this. Back up, right? And
Yeah.
some
Now I
people are
get it.
ready, some people aren't. Right? Like yesterday I had a new client. She was doing this thing where emotion would come about and she would go like that, and then she'll like have come back to the conversation. An emotion would come up, she would go like that, and she'll come back to the conversation. And I was like, oof, do I push? Do I not? Do I put? I'm like, this is 15, 10, 15 minutes into the conversation, okay? And she's done it already like 3 times. Like this, comes back to the conversation. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to take a leap of faith. My intuition's telling me to. Let me go. And I was like, can I? And I was like, I know, I want to be mindful that we've only been here for 15 minutes. And I like literally looked at my watch and I was like, we've only been here 15 minutes. Can I be mean to you already? And she's like, yeah. She's so fucking like happy, right? Happy go lucky, whatever. She's like, yeah. And I was like, all right. I was like, I'm noticing that you're talking about something changes, something shifts a little bit, almost like an emotion comes about. Then you look up a little bit, kind of like you bring it back down, and then you come back. And then it comes up again, and then you bring it back down. What's that about? And she's like, yeah. And like the smile turns into like tears, just tears. And I'm like, okay. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm like, all right, we're here. Whatever, we go through the process. I'm like, okay, it's okay for you to feel like blah blah blah. She comes back a little bit to more to baseline, and I was like, what was that like for you? For me to challenge you like 10 minutes into our session, you just met me. And she's like, nobody has ever challenged me that way. Nobody has noticed that before. I feel so seen.
Mm.
It has always been there, right? Like, I mean, even if we put this like you can tell that there's somebody behind this.
Yeah.
And some people are like, please see me. Please look at my pain. But other people are like, please don't see me. And even you're like, I still see you, boo boo. And they're like, fuck no. So discerning that between,
Yeah.
do you want to be seen? Is it okay for me to see you? Because I see you, but is it okay for me to bring it up? Like that is the part, that is the art that you and I need to learn in terms of approaching it with people. Some people are like, please, right? With her, it worked beautifully. And she's like, oh, feel so seen. For other people, it might be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Discerning that is going to
Yeah.
be a challenge.
Yeah.
I love you too,
I
brother.
see it. Yeah. I see it now what you mean, and like how this, like, cuz that's a part of what I wrote, right? Like how the fuck is like what I'm doing creating more space than actually creating a bond and love and understanding from other people. But I see it now that it's so scary and so much to bear with,
Hmm.
that I go back to what I said before. Then my job is to be available and be present and be happy and be whatever, to be show up for them and emotionally and shit like that,
Hmm.
so that, like I said, when shit hits the fan, then I think I'll be a safe enough person where they can reach out to me, which is honestly what I do in the other part of the shit, and the other part of relationship, that what I do works, like that creates bonds, and it creates unity and creates um yeah, unity within the relationship or the person, is that now I'm able to do it more and more, and show up for them, and then they reach out when there's some kind of struggle, when there's a kind of problem.
Yeah. And that's what
I
happened
see
on
now how,
Tuesday. That's what
because
happened on
it's like,
Tuesday, right?
honestly with me, because here's the other part. I found this path through intellect.
Hmm.
So because I found it through intellect, I look, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I look still a little less than I used to in the past, but it still's like, you're fucking stupid. Why don't you understand? Like, this is something that I can explain to you because it was explained to me and I understood it and I'm applying for it in the shit. So it is that, to this time, that frustration of like, you're struggling, and I'm like, well, here, put together with my fucking savior complex, like, here's the problem. All right, here's what if here, please do this. Like, I see you struggle. This is what you need to do. And then this
Yeah.
shit, like, you're like, I told Celia, it's like you put together this fucking cocktail of shit, and I can see why all of my different traits or all of my different behaviors is just overwhelming. And like I said, instead of coming up as loving, it comes in as scary or a threat to people because I want to do
Yeah.
that. But now the conversation with, yeah, you can say it, but the confirmation when the conversation and confrontation with my in-laws came at a different time, because they were like, why is this happening in my life? They literally asked me, why is this, but why are they doing this? And I'm like, that was different then, right? That's why it was perceived differently. As painful as it was, they literally, one of them asked for help and for an explanation of shit. And then I fucking,
And
yes,
then you're
they'll
like,
still
let me
overdo it, but I
tell
still
you,
right? Yeah,
I've been
and that's
waiting for this
honestly
moment.
that expression, that expression of what you did, that's literally what I do, because it gets me so giddy and so happy that I'd be like, oh shit, here we go, here comes the healing, let's fucking do this. But
Let's start
now
from the
maybe
beginning.
maybe that's why it wasn't as damaging as I thought it would be, and the relationship honestly hasn't changed with them, because they did ask. They did say, well, why is this happening? And then I literally started explaining relationships and shit like that, but it came from them. I didn't jump in there, was like, hey, I see this fucking problem with your life. Let me try to fix it. So nice, more clarity. That's fucking
Good.
amazing.
Good.
Like the fact that they actually did ask me. That's why that worked. As tough and as painful and as over the fucking, as blunt as I was with that, with them and all that way, it worked because they were curious and they were in
Hmm.
pain and they asked for help in their pain. So they were
Yeah.
looking for a solution. And then I walked in and like I told them everything I possibly could tell. I'm like, no, what you mean no? This. No, 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 it's not this. What you mean no is this? Over and over until like I got to the point of fucking finally breaking them and shit, like a marine,
They're like,
fucking
I just wanted to paint
captain or
this
something.
wall. And you're like, nah,
Yeah,
motherfucker, you need a whole motherfucking thing. Like, we need to tear
yeah.
this shit down right now.
I was like, you yeah. I was like, you see you see how you put a cuadro there? Yeah, I know that there's fucking things behind that wall. There's like patches that need to be done. You know how you use this shit? I see all of this right here, and you just want to take care of this wall in front of you. Like, why don't we address the entire fucking house and go piece by
The
piece
whole
and thing by
house,
thing, you know?
the whole house, tear it down,
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah.
I just, I just want, I just wanted you to hang up that painting. That's all.
But the fact that yeah, that's that I get it properly. But even in the level of success that it had was still depending on the fact that they said, "Look at this," you know, and then I'm like, yeah. You break this down. Look at the plumbing. Look at your fucking electrical. Have you fucking paid attention that your roof is so fucked up and you notice this part of it? Like your fucking upstairs toilet is clogged and you're talking about this goddamn piece of fucking thing. Oh my god. Like your AC's all broken. Your shit is so fucked. That's funny. That's hella funny, bro.
Oh my god, that is so funny. But not like not funny, and we're making fun of them, but more of
Just the
like
analogy, right? Yeah.
the analogy.
But it's more like this. It's more like I was like, hey, this. They're like, hey, this thing needs painting, and I was like, yeah, but like this the only reason why this fucking paint is chipping off is because of the mold that you have around the house and the foundation of the thing. So you have to take care of all of this and that. If you really want to address this part of it, and you don't want it to happen again, you have to look at what's actually happening behind it and why is it scraping or peeling in the shed. And if you look at it and they're like, no, but we don't need to, like it's just this piece
Just
and
paint
like
it.
it's this piece alone. But I'm like, no, but you have to see how the fuck this thing ended up happening so that you can avoid it again, and that's connected to the rest of the house.
Yeah.
No, but there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm like going there and like moving the frames and moving the couches, and there's a hole on the floor and
Yeah,
there's
let
all
me
this
tell
shit
you.
like that. Yeah, it's like Encanto, bro. What the fuck? It's literally Encanto. It's literally Encanto what we just described. It's literally that. Like the house is fucking falling apart and the whole shit's there. They're pretending that there's nothing happening. It's literally Encanto. What the fuck? We literally just described that. We could have been rich. We could have wrote a movie based on this goddamn thing. We literally could have wrote this and turned it into a film. God damn it. We were
We
like a
don't
little
talk about
couple years behind.
Bruno. No, no.
That's funny how we got here. Now I understand that movie even more. That's good.
Oh my
Yep.
god. Shout out to Healing Conversations. Oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
crying. Oh my
That's
god.
hella funny. That's hella funny. But yeah, thank you
Yes.
again for holding the space and the shit. And I did reach out to more friends. I want you to do that. I reached out to new friends about my struggle. Did they give me much? No, they didn't. But then I'm already like, that's enough. That's cool. Like one of them didn't respond. Like I dumped my whole shit in there. One of them responded in a very like light and like useless fucking way. But I'm like, that's what you can give me. And the other one was didn't respond at all. Like didn't even acknowledge what I said. But the next day, like 44 hours later, he's like, how are things going, Debo? Like the fact that you're able to then think about me and like you acknowledge the struggle is like, oh, motherfucker cares about me. Like, good shit. And like, hopefully
Yeah.
at the same time, again, even though my goddamn healing thing goes, well, hopefully by having this conversation, you're able to count on me when you're struggling with this and I can show up for you, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's what my thought process goes all the time. So, like, I'm writing this letter that I started with, and then as I'm writing, I was like, oh, this can help people. Like it's helping me, but like put it out there because this can help people
Yeah.
fucking understand your pain and your shit, and also help them, the listeners, like be seen or be heard and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Sorry if
yeah,
I overdid it because I was like, did you hang up on purpose? I here for you. But I was like,
no, it's fine.
I'm like, he did it on purpose after you didn't call me back. So I was like, all right, leave
Yeah,
him alone. I'll leave him alone.
yeah,
But now
yeah,
I know. Now I know.
yeah.
Fun stuff.
All right,
Fun stuff.
we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated.
Yes.
I think regardless of what happens, I still will have to update it even if it goes good or not, because I don't want to go into the same shit that people talk about their problems and they don't talk about the solution or the good things that happen. So we'll
Hmm.
see what comes from it and what resolution it is. And again, this is real life shit happening. with the hope
Mhm.
that you guys get something out of it, like I'm getting something out of it. And
Yeah.
again, like think about so much your like this shock of your divorce episode and how you talked about it being you, because I was so used to people blaming other people, right?
Yeah.
So like then once again, all this shit happened and I fucked up in all these ways, and at the end of the day, it's me, motherfuckers. Like it's
Yeah.
me with the one that needs to do the work and that still needs to grow and do that, because
It's
that's the
me.
only shit I can control.
Hi.
I
I'm the
already told you
problem.
last
It's
time. I'm gonna
me.
do it again. You're pushing the Taylor Swift stuff on me. All right. Mindful Podcast Living at I'm just gonna ignore that
She,
singing. Mindful Podcast Living at gmail.com is
we don't like Swifty.
the
Good, good, good.
is the email. If you have any questions, any concerns in the comments, the last episode is doing well. We got a big comment there to reply to. We'll talk about it afterwards. But yeah, mindful podcast living at gmail.com. If you have concerns, comments, you want to be a guest, let us know some topics, whatever you want. Remember, Norma is a therapist. And then somehow I came across the term pre-licensed therapist, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck does that even mean? So technically, I'm going to start calling myself a pre-licensed therapist, because you don't that's open to everything. So Norma is a therapist, and I'm a pre-licensed therapist.
I'm a
I'm
licensed
just gonna go
therapist.
ahead
He's
and
a
take that thing.
pre-licensed therapist.
Yeah. All right. Take care, guys. Thank you for listening again, and have a good one. And if not, fuck it, it's still good.
Bye.
We'll be still be here. Bye.